This episode of 86 That is brought to you by Nanami Sushi Bar and Grill. If you're looking for the freshest sushi and authentic Japanese flavors just up the road in Austin, Nanami is the spot for you. From classic rolls to chef specials, it's perfect for a night out, date night, or just treating yourself. They're family owned, passionate about quality, and we're proud to have them supporting the show. So next time you're craving sushi, head to Nanami Sushi Bar and Grill. Check out their menu at nanamisushi.com and tell them that 86 That sent you. Once again, thank you to Nanami Sushi Bar and Grill for sponsoring this episode of our podcast.
Y'all seen Boss Baby though?
Boss Baby?
Oh, Boss Baby? No, that's nothing compared.
The word to describe it is cinema.
Out of all the animated films that follow baby making things, Storks is better.
Hello.
Baby
Wow,
making
that sounded.
I prefer sex ed.
I like Sausage Party.
Yeah.
Welcome to the 86 That podcast, where 5 college filmmakers sit down with a special guest each episode. Directors, writers, producers, actors, and other creatives shaping the industry to talk movies, the creative process, and the ups and downs of making their work. Follow us on Instagram at the 86 That podcast for episode highlights, exclusive bonus clips, and even the chance to ask questions to future guests. We appreciate you tuning in and hope you enjoy.
We are officially back after taking a pause for winter break with very exciting guests planned for 2026. The first, and to set the bar, is Michael Parrington, a recent graduate from Texas State University pursuing a film career in Austin, Texas. He works at MPS, a camera rental house, is based out of Dallas, Texas. Michael has worked very closely with all of us on our films, as well as working freelance in G&E with a vast depth of experience. Michael is the hardest worker with the most grit I've ever seen on a film set. Good conditions, bad conditions, long days, pay, no pay. Michael is consistently performing at 100%. Michael, I and the rest of the hosts are all inspired by you and excited to have you on. Michael Parrington, welcome to the podcast.
That was awesome. Thank you so much. That was awesome.
Well, thank you for being here. What's going on? Like, what's up with you? What's new with you?
Yeah.
You in Austin?
Going on?
I'm back in Austin. Been working. It's been a busy start to the new year, which I'm very thankful for. Been working on some commercials and some other projects here and there. But it's been good. I'm very grateful and thankful for everything that's come my way, and just happy, very happy at the moment. So,
was there anything from the last few months of work that stood out to you? Like any moments that were cool on set or anything?
The one that first came to mind was I did a New Year's event this year down at Auditorium Shores in Austin, and it was actually the Austin Ball Drop that was getting just live televised for CNN.
That's so
cool. Oh, wow.
It's
cool.
to help set up some of the lighting for that with one of the other guys from the shot, Matt Cutt.
Oh yeah, I was watching that. I saw that.
It was pretty cool. It was a long day for sure, but they had I think it was 4 or 5 bands they had out there on a big stage, and cool drone show and a fireworks show.
That's so cool.
It was just cool to be out there and just to.
I didn't even know they did that. I didn't know it was in Austin. I turned on the TV in New Year's, and then it's in the corner. It's like Austin, Texas. Like what the? It's like in Zolker. No, that's cool that you worked on that.
I didn't know they. Wait, you said a ball drop? Like the one in.
They did like an Austin ball drop. So I think it's relatively newer. I think they rotate cities from when kind of New York would be the big one, and then they go around to different cities in the U.S. just from different time zones, and kind of like live broadcast what's going on.
Can I ask a really dumb question?
Yeah.
What ball dropped? Like
there was no ball.
Jesus.
Okay.
Dude, what kind of question is that?
Isn't there an actual? All right.
No,
I think we should move
What
on.
are you like expecting
So
it to be like a basketball?
Like on New Year's Eve,
Dude, it's like,
No,
like
on
on
New Year's Eve, there's the big
a ball that.
there's a big
yeah, there
yes,
is.
that's what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
But in Austin,
But in Austin, there's no ball dropping, so I don't. Okay.
What do you? They set up.
I don't know.
Okay, wait. Do you think that there's just a ball that's always in New York that's always ready to drop?
and it only drops on New Year's Eve.
right,
The ball
let's
is
move on.
set up.
Then
The
it
ball
flops
is
back
set
up.
up. At
Guys,
New
this
Year's.
podcast is about Michael Parrington.
It is.
Yeah, not your incompetence.
But yeah, no ball. Just a cool fireworks show and
Celebration.
show
No
and
ball, just show.
but.
How did you get that gig?
So I got it through MPS.
Okay,
So
that makes sense.
they needed some hands to be out there to help set up for the event, and so they got their gear from MPS, and me and Matt were lucky enough to be out there for I think it was a 16-hour day. So it was good. I was happy to be in the mix with all of that.
For our viewers who don't know what MPS is, can you just briefly describe what that is or what it is?
So MPS is Mobile Production Services. They've been around for about 50 years. Focuses on it's a rental house. It is focused on camera and then G&E equipment. Basically, any rental needs needed in the Central Texas area, we can help out with that. We've got lots of cool camera equipment that's a little bit over my head, some of it, but I'm sure you guys would have more knowledge of it than me. But do a lot. I guess I would be doing a lot with just 10-ton trucks, 5-ton trucks, 1-ton trucks, and then some more like a la carte packages.
That's
Just
cool.
gripping and electricing.
I wanted to ask because I know you talked about like working with MPS. Like, how did you get on that, and like how does that work?
So I was very thankful, very grateful. So my dad is actually the operations or the director of operations at our Austin location. So that was my in.
Awesome.
And I worked in the shop for about a year, almost a year and a half before got out on my kind of my first set really. So I started kind of more part-time, just like off and on when they needed extra hands in the shop. I think I was probably about 20 or 21 years old. Just kind of getting in there, learning the equipment, meeting people there, and then really started working full time. Last August, 2 Augusts ago, I think I've been there full time for almost a year now.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and so I just kind of took me a little bit to get comfortable and familiar with all the equipment, and then of course being on all Texas State projects kind of build my confidence up to make me feel like I could go out and do it on a big, more I guess professional and larger budgeted set. Not to say that
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
Texas State stuff isn't the real deal, but
Can I ask a follow-up question? Because you mentioned MPS. I did some research. I'm not a stalker, but I did some research. Now, I've known that your dad works at MPS, but I just recently found out your mom worked at Sony for 13 years, and then she worked at Austin Film Society for 4 years, and that's like super cool. I wanted to ask, how was it growing up with parents who are already so well versed in this industry, and how big of an influence were they on you? Like, were movies and films a big part of your life growing up?
so yeah, my parents actually met working at Sony in California, and
Wow.
the reason we moved out here to Austin was because my mom got that job at Austin Studios. So yeah, it's definitely they're both huge like influences in my life and just such great people to like look after and take after. But yeah, absolutely. I've got a younger brother, and we used to spend our summers and our time off just hanging out on the Austin Studios lot, and just kind of being young kids getting in the way and causing a little bit of trouble, but we always were kind of around it, seeing like the process of like just kind of what goes on in that world. And I always just kind of took a keen interest to it. Same with my brother. He works in the production industry as well. He's wouldn't be on set. He works more in like the live broadcasting. He's a replay and camera operator for another production company here in town.
Very cool.
But I think, yeah, we both just being around it so much, just it's like, hey, this is pretty cool. Our parents do it's pretty cool. I could see myself doing this. But yeah, definitely super grateful and thankful for just all the people that they've introduced us to and the positions that they put us in growing up and starting out.
Can I ask you, Michael, what was your first film industry job?
So I was actually an extra on True Grit when I was in
The Coen Brothers True Grit with oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
that was like
I thought that looked like you.
yeah, their production offices were on the AFS lot.
Wow.
I remember my mom had a relationship with one of the coordinators, and they were looking for a young kid who had freckles and big ears and a little bit of a crooked smile. And at that time, I fit the bill perfect. I remember taking like headshots. My mom just like taking photos on like one of the very first iPhones, and showed it to the one of the casting coordinators, and they're like, "Wow, who is this kid?" It's like, "This is my son." It's like, "This is your son? He's perfect." So
That's crazy.
that was super cool. Yeah,
You know the timestamp? Do you know the timestamp in the where you show up? We got to see the Michael cameo.
You have to send us a screenshot of the moment.
in the very last scene of the movie, it's the Haley Steinfeld's character is all grown up now, and she's talking to two older gentlemen, and I'm in the very back on like this hay wagon, and you can see me for a little bit, and
Oh, oh, that's cool.
Oh, I'll have to go back and rewatch that. That's great.
Yeah, all of our listeners, just go back and look for a kid with freckles and big ears.
no
and
need to watch the movie. Just go to the
He's the
very
hay wagon. He's the
Let's get
hay
to the
wagon
end.
kid.
But yeah, that was my first experience. I remember going in to the try on costumes for like and wardrobe. And I gotta like remember getting off school a little bit early. I think they paid me like $100 to be there, and I was like, "This is the coolest thing ever. I want to do this
You're
forever."
like, I'm rich. I'm
Yeah,
rich.
I'm rich. We're going to
Yeah.
Target. We're buying
Yeah,
stuff.
That's crazy.
So your first experience was in front of the camera. Did you ever think that you would be like in front of the camera, or did you like from that experience you were like, oh man, I want to be behind the camera?
Um, in that time, I I I thought maybe being more in front of the camera because that's just kind of what I was introduced to. But I also saw like how much work and how many people are there involved uh just to make something like that happen. Um, but yeah, growing up, I was like, yeah, I think I could be this big movie star. Are you kidding me? Like this is awesome. And then as getting older, I found myself wanting to be a little bit more behind the scenes and a part of the crew and just helping out on that process.
That's so interesting.
But
So
you,
interesting.
yeah, I guess your parents were involved in the industry, and then that got you, and you saw that, and you get on these big, and then you're on Austin Studios lots. But you didn't go to film school. You majored in something else, and you just made film your side hustle. Why that decision?
Yeah, so I went to the business school at Texas State. Um, I'd always kind of had a keen interest in business, but I knew just for me, I just didn't quite know what the film like I don't know, the what that whole process like the schooling was like more about. I always just kind of thought that the business side of things was just a little bit more secure for me, but I definitely was, I feel like,
Hmm.
more focused on the film at Texas State. And I was doing the business stuff on the side, even though that was what my degree was in. Um, but yeah, I kind of wanted to have a little bit of both, just to kind of give myself some options. If this didn't work out pursuing film, I could have something to fall back on.
I'm the same way. I'm minoring in business right now. I'm taking my last finance class, but
Oh man, good luck.
yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
It's such a surprise every time to hear when like people that I feel like I saw more than like majority of the students in the film program that were not actually in the film program. That makes sense. Like, dude, I feel like you ask anybody and they'll know who you are, dude. It's like, and that's insane. That's wow.
Did you transfer somewhere?
I was at Austin Community College, so I was at
Okay.
ACC for my first 2 years. So I graduated high school in 2020. So
Hmm.
I
Oh,
kind of was in a weird spot graduating. I didn't really
COVID
know. I
graduation.
had plans of, yeah, COVID graduation. We went
Yeah.
on spring break and never came back to school. Like, man, this kind of
Yeah.
sucks. But yeah, I didn't really want to go somewhere and just be kind of like locked down in my dorm for that first year, which I feel like that first year is pretty big. It was like you're on campus for first time, meeting a bunch of whole new people, and to be kind of locked up in a dorm wasn't super attractive to me. Um, so I wanted to stay close to home. I did ACC and I loved ACC. But yeah, I did all my kind of general courses there. And then I did knew I wanted to transfer somewhere eventually. And San Marcos is a beautiful town and it's not too far away from home here in Austin. So yeah, I wanted to get out there.
I remember freshman and sophomore year. I didn't know. I had never heard of you, and then suddenly, like junior year, like suddenly everyone's talking about Michael Parrington, Michael Parrington. Having my, and I'm like, you're on every set. I go on. Like, where did this guy come from?
With with your family being so rooted and everything, I'm curious, like, did they ever like want to push you towards doing film, or was that like more of your decision? Or were they like, you should really go for this because like, I don't know, we do it, we love it, and we want you to love it too, or I don't know.
Uh, I wouldn't say they were really pushy at all. I think it was more me and my brother kind of recognizing that. Um,
Mhm.
but my parents are so awesome. They were just do whatever you makes you happy, sort of thing. And then there was were behind my brother and I, and always made us believe that we were going to be successful in whatever we do. Um, but I think it was more my brother and I seeing what they do and always thought that it was pretty damn cool. And
Mhm.
so I think it just trying to follow in their footsteps, if you will.
I'm interested. You like, are you a gearhead? I couldn't really tell if you're a gearhead. Like when I'm on set with you, I can't tell because normally you can kind of spot a gearhead if he's in the genie space. But are you a gearhead?
I feel like I'm becoming more of a
Okay,
gearhead,
okay.
understanding it a little bit more and finding out what my preferences are. And uh, yeah, I would say
What
getting into it, I thought everything was like, wow, this is really cool. And not to say that not everything is, I think, pretty cool, but I tend to find myself focusing, I guess, towards certain items or brands or what.
Yeah. What's your favorite piece of gear?
Um,
Like
Desert
it can be
Island. Go.
functionality or it can be like cool, just like fun to use. What would be like your top gear?
right now, I've been trying to learn a lot more about blackout and the board operating side of things, like lighting programming and all
Mm.
that. So
Mhm.
right now, I'd say that just that whole world of like transmitters and kind of seeing which is like which do different things and which I think would be kind of more beneficial for me. But I have to give like a big shout out to Matt Cut Bearclaw over at MPS who works there, and he's definitely got me more into it and has taught me a lot about the lighting programming and all of that. But yeah, I've been trying to dive into that and just get my knowledge up on that.
That software is insane.
It is pretty cool, and I definitely think that's kind of where everything is headed in the film industry, and it's all uh, with all these new lights coming in or coming out with the built-in CRMX functions and just like the Bluetooth capabilities and all that, being able to like remotely operate 50 lights that are on set from just a
Yeah.
couple clicks of a button is like that's just insane. It just
Are
has
they?
come so far. So
Is that what they're doing now? Is like light boarding? Like, are they like people are bringing light boards to sets and like operating them from a board like remotely? I didn't. I guess I didn't know that. I don't. Wow.
yes,
That is so cool.
Also, it's also like on the iPad. Like you can just bring an iPad and it has the software. So like it is like it's like its own like it is a light board, but it's like it's like an app that's like
Okay.
built into
Because
the
I've like
that you
operated
can
on
have
my
on the iPad.
phone. I've operated on my phone
Yeah.
before, but like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that
yeah.
is so
Yeah, it's the
cool.
same. I bet it's the same thing. Yeah, yeah,
Same
yeah.
thing. Okay. Wow.
it's yeah, like similar. I'm sure are familiar with like the Sidus link with
Mm-hmm.
Aperture and
Yep. Yep.
I know Nanlux. I think it's the Nanlite app and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
it
yeah.
kind of puts all that together. But yeah, I've definitely just been super interested in that recently.
I just wanted to ask because I like how John was saying, like the first couple years, because you said you transferred, but like in junior year, like I feel like right from the get go, you were like everyone knew who you were. You were getting on as many sets as you possibly could, and I've always known you, and I feel like all of us have always known you. Like you are the first one there, and you are always the
Hmm.
last one out. Like and that is like that is like the reputation I've always had with you, and it's just like we respect you so much with that kind of mentality. And I just like where does that work ethic come from, and like where did it kind of start and yeah, I mean, like, what kind of keeps you going when you're on these, especially like a 16-hour day, with you just speaking about, like, what kind of keeps you going on these things?
Oh, well, I really appreciate that. But I'd say that that uh that mentality definitely comes from my dad. He always says you can't start till we get there with the gear. So if you're going to be late, you're making everybody else late. So then it's not a great look. Not a great look. Um, but yeah, I and it's kind of like the like a team mindset. Like I feel like everyone is on a team when you're working together to create something. um, and you don't want to leave anyone behind. So if that's staying an extra hour or two just to help make sure everything gets like wrapped out properly, um, or helping someone else finish project on set, um, I just I would I feel like I really appreciate the extra hands if I was in that situation. So if I can be the extra hands for somebody else, I'm gonna do that every time.
Yeah, no, I felt like when we were on Worms, I felt so like being the person that put you in that situation, you know, with that super long 20-minute walk and then the super long 20-minute back, and there was multiple trips, you know,
That
the whole
hike was
time. I
insane.
felt horrible to the whole G&E team and to everybody that I put through on lifting everything there and then having to put it all back. So I just know from that experience and from countless others, I just yeah, and like how much I appreciated, you know, yours and all of the other crew on that day for their work ethic. So I just yeah, but I just that's why I wanted to bring that up.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, that was a fun day. That was a little bit of a hike out there for sure, but I definitely enjoyed being out there with all you guys. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'd say you got your money's worth out of that cart, pulling all that stuff back and
that's for
forth.
sure.
Dude, it broke, dude. It's like it broke that day. Like it's like the most heavy duty cart at Harbor Freight, and it broke after that day.
For
So
our for our listener, Worms is Nathan's short film that he directed. I produced. Andrew shot. Michael lit. Um,
I first AC'd.
yeah, got our first A seed, and we shot at a state park 2.5 hours away from San Marcos, and it was quite the day. But
Oh
The
yeah.
funny thing was, me and Nathan were like before we got on set with the cart, we were like, oh yeah, dude, this cart's great. We can just return it afterwards. Like midway through that first day, we were like, all right, this cart's not, they're not going to accept this back.
Dude,
There's no way.
me
I
and
also
Mike.
destroyed my elbow. Like I destroyed my elbow literally through.
Yeah,
Like it
I
was
remember.
probably it was like 5 minutes into me
Yeah,
lugging
we
the
hadn't
cart.
even gotten to set yet, and Nathan like
I
fall
was
the
told
worst
morning
fall
of that Nate
possible.
had
Yeah,
terrible
dude,
fall.
it took
Yeah.
me out. But yeah, I
I'm gonna find a
respected.
photo of like Carter be like, I'm gonna pass out, and I took a photo, took a selfie with Dylan. I'm gonna see if I find it.
Dude, did you have me in the background? Oh my gosh, dude!
Yeah.
Like it was so bad.
Yeah.
You were behind us a little bit, but I was like, we were going up that first hill that's all bumpy and rocky, and oh man, I like got lightheaded so bad. I didn't eat anything, so I think I nearly
I
passed
just
out. It was rough, but at the end of the day, oh my gosh, dude, that hike back with you was something else. Oh my lord, we just kept going though. It was like that was crazy.
I'm curious because like for G&E, like when I've been on G&E and you have so much more experience than I do, it feels as though there's, you know, this like at the start of the day, there's like this like major energy, like you're just moving, moving, moving. And then for like 8 hours, there's like very little at all. And then there's like moving, 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 or if there's like little spurts of it. What like on long shoots? What like do you like use? Because when I'm on long sets, it's like, you know, every time I'm like trying something new to just, if I'm, you know, not like behind camera or if I'm not working the whole day, it's just kind of like get up and then wait for a while. What do you do when you're waiting? Like how do you keep yourself interested in, you know, and awake during those long days?
I try to, yeah, definitely. I would agree. Like you get there, you unload all your gear, and you're getting set up for the first couple shots, and then it can be a little bit of a lull in between setups. Uh, but I just try to keep myself as much as like involved as I can, in where I can be to help out, and uh, just trying to like kind of stay in it with everybody, because yeah, long days. I mean, obviously it's entertaining to be out there, but I feel like you got to keep yourself going on that same sort of energy. And then just being able to like, I don't know, listening in on conversations. We need this here, or we need to change this or change that, and just being like ready right away, to be able to go run and do that, and just kind of keeps me, uh, like my energy up. And
Always thinking about the thing in the next shot. Always thinking about what the. You seem very proactive to me.
Yeah,
yeah,
I feel
I
like it
mean,
sets you apart.
I appreciate that, but yeah, I try to be ready. I feel like that's
Hmm.
one of like the one of the like the most important things is just being ready and being aware of like what's going on. And if you can get ahead, like why not get ahead?
Hmm.
Let's just keep the ball rolling. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned just like different projects that you kind of wanted to touch on. Specifically, you mentioned pale horses and primary colors, and then you also mentioned worms. We've talked about that one a little bit, but what specifically about pale horses and primary colors were kind of stood out to you, and what about those projects would you like to kind of talk about and kind of see? We were trying to do some research on those films to see if we can watch those. So what would be the if you could tell us a little bit about them, we'd love to hear it.
so they're both written and directed by one of my great friends, one of my best friends, Brock Ladoff. We grew up together. We were roommates for a few years, but we've known each other since back in the fourth grade. And those two projects, Primary Colors came out about a year ago or 2 years ago, but we did Pale Horses over the summer. Um, and those are just both like two really fun shoots. Pretty intimate, like crew setting, where it's a small crew. Um, just very like just kind of just limited in the gear that we had and what some of like this, the locations and what we can do. But I feel like that kind of gets your creative thinking flowing when you are limited in such like factors. You kind of make the best of what you can. Um, but and then I feel like I was along for a lot of like the pre-production process, just kind of hearing Brock talk about how he wanted to make these projects for a while and just being able to be involved in that was super fun. Pale Horses we did out. You guys are familiar with Cole McHugh, uh, also Texas.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
We
yeah.
we filmed that out at his parents' house over in Cedar Park, Leander area here in Austin, and it was a lot of work. It was I was a one-man band that day, lugging around some lights and trying to kind of stay on top of it and keep the ball rolling. Um, but that was just a lot of fun, and just being able to help out Brock was I've always say yes to his projects. They're always great.
I, I feel like your answer there kind of answers my question. But when it comes to projects, do you prefer a bigger crew or do you kind of like the more intimate, kind of smaller kind of sets?
I'll take the help every time. I'll take the help for sure.
There you go.
So I, don't know, I think I already know the answer to this question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. So you've worked on corporate stuff, you've worked on commercial stuff. I don't know if you've worked on like bigger budget, maybe like studio equivalent projects, and you've also worked on a bunch of indie and student sets. Which one is the most fulfilling for you as G&E gaffer lighting guy? What do you prefer? What do you get most excited to get going?
I would say the student kind of indie stuff. Say it doesn't this most of the time doesn't pay as well as the bigger commercials or kind of corporate stuff. But I feel like the relationships that I built at least on those sets, and then just personally knowing uh, the one who made the story or the people that are involved in helping produce the project. Just that like personal feeling or like in relationship between everybody. Um, Always feels so much better when the project gets done and then you see the project and you're like, we all did this together versus some of the commercials and stuff that I've worked on. I've never even seen them. So it's like it's great to like be able to work with people that are all like pretty close and just doing it for like I say the love of the game. Like everyone's there just because they want to be there. Like not you're not doing it for the money. You're doing it for your friend or you want to be a part of this project or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah.
It's so interesting because, like, following along with that, like, I almost feel like when you're on a non-paid set with friends, the harder it is, the like better the payoff. Because like it could be a horrible shoot. Like you're looking back at it and you're like, oh man, that was brutal. And then when you look back at the project, you're just like, that was like a bonding through trauma kind of thing. Trauma, I feel like it's a bit of a strong word for that, but just you're bonding through really really hard times, and that's always really fun. So
Like when the director slips and starts bleeding out of his elbow.
yeah,
Like none of the audience is gonna know that happened. They're just gonna see the short. They're not gonna know that. Traumatic
or
events.
when you know
I was okay, I just got up and I just put I had like three.
You did
I
not
had,
just get up. That
You just laid
I
on
have
the
a
ground.
full
laid-
video.
okay, I laid
of
on the
about
ground for
4
a little bit.
minutes
Okay, I
where
laid on the ground.
Nathan
Okay.
is like, oh,
Okay.
I don't know, man.
I laid on the ground. Okay, I had
It's
3
bad.
shirts on, so I just put the sleeves over it and I just worked through the rest of the day. Okay, no one even knew that I had no one outside of us in that morning knew I was.
Can I have your Gatorade, dude?
Waking up at 5 a.m.
you're an inspiration, Nathan. You're an inspiration. That reminds me when the first day that I met Michael was on Superbad on Marie's web series, and we lost. I was supposed to be B Cam, but I got there and I ended up not being B Cam, and so they put me with Michael, and it was me and Michael and Luke Yoder. And Michael, I don't know if you remember this, and we lost our source of electricity, like 3/4 of the way through. And our source of electricity was Marie's dad's house.
Because you guys
And-
because it blew the circuit, right? Or you
Yes,
Pulling a little bit too much power.
and he wouldn't let us go into the garage and flip the breaker because he was embarrassed that it was messy, and so we just like. Do you remember what we ended up doing, Michael?
I don't. I remember.
The-
I remember
the-
blowing the circuit and being kind of like, "Uh-oh, here we go."
The sun was setting, and so you set up. I think this is your idea. We had a C-stand and
Well, don't
just
say
some, like-
don't say it's his idea until you say the idea, and then he can take credit for it or not.
Well, but it was a good idea.
Okay,
The
good.
sun was setting, and he set up a C-stand with like white foam board. I don't know where we found the foam, and just set it up, and just used the setting sun as like a bounce, and we couldn't do anything else. And then me and Michael and Luke just sat in the backyard, and watched the sunset and adjusted it, and it was so nice. But you talk about trauma bonding. That wasn't trauma, but it was just like, oh, those kind of fun things. I mean, I thought it was fun. The problem solving of it, I guess, is what's fun about
Just
it.
3
And
genie
so-
guys sitting in a lawn chair, just slowly adjusting the balance so it matches the sun going down.
Yeah, I mean that's what we ended up doing. I don't know if you remember that, Michael, but what's the most when you think of, to me, a lot of what working in film is problem solving. And so when you think back all the sets that you've worked on and all the problems that you've had to solve, what's the one problem that you remember being the most difficult one to solve? But then when you solved it, you were like, oh, I feel really good because this was a really good way to solve this problem.
That's a great question. That's one of the things that I love most about it. Just kind of getting like thrown a task, or you're getting thrown a curveball and you're like, how are we gonna do this? But the one that I'm trying to think of one particular.
walk 20 minutes in from the parking lot with a trailer of gear and a 1200.
I remember I told on your smack end, because you're the key grip, I told like Kirby and the Genie team I was like, I want the shot of the camera pushing in towards the cake, and then I leave and I'm talking and I'm like not even thinking about that at all, and I come back 30 minutes later and Michael has built like this massive rig with like a bunch of C-stands and grip arms and there's a pulley system. Like, wow, what a creative way to get that shot. That's what we're saying.
That was great. Working with Kirby and Zach, Kirby was DP on that project and Zach was the gaffer, and just coming up with that rig. That was pretty fun. But I think that shot turned out pretty good. I think that was pretty good. But I do enjoy like the problem solving and then like rigging to like see how we're gonna get the shot done. Like in Worms, I won't give any spoilers, but we did some cool rigging on that one as well to try to get a shot.
You could give. I mean, there's I don't think there really is much spoilers there. I mean,
working with that glass bottle to get that shot of looking through the glass bottle and
Caulk, hot glue, sweat and tears.
not waterproof though, unfortunately.
No, not at all.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I love all the problem solving that goes along with filmmaking.
Well, we're kind of wrapping up. We do have an audience question for you. This one's a fun one. from Cole Wooster is
The one and
asking,
only.
The one and only Cole Wooster is asking, what's your gaffer/G&E care routine for keeping your body from aching after a shoot?
That's a great question.
That is a great question. Nice, no matter how tired, gotta take a nice hot shower. Hot shower, straight to bed.
There you go.
And then lots of yellow Red Bull. I love a yellow Red Bull. First thing in the morning, crack yellow Red Bull. Boom, good to go.
Cures all your problems.
Anybody who's having Michael on his set for
Sounds
craft,
like a
make sure there's
professional.
yellow
That
Red
is
Bull.
That's the way to go.
And I always bring an extra pair of shoes on set just in case. It's always nice to change shoes throughout the day.
I just heard about that. I was on set in the summer, and the props master always brought 2 pairs of shoes. And during lunch, he would change. And I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Don't hate it until you try it."
I feel like that's
actually
really smart.
insane.
Is it like but like 2 different pairs of shoes, or is it like the same shoes that he just swaps out, or is it
During
like a
lunch, you go
comfier
over
pair?
and put
Is it
on a new pair of shoes.
But is it the same type of shoes, or is it
It's
just like a
like-
different type of shoe?
These new socks. Wow.
It doesn't matter, just another pair of shoes that you
That's
put
gotta
on.
be like.
And
actually,
it feels so refreshing.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh,
I
okay.
bet that feels
Okay,
biggest
so I guess
life
like
hack.
it's like the placebo effect of like a
incredibly
new
refreshing.
starting the
you know?
day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Michael, we thank you so much for being on the podcast. This has been so much fun.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
this is awesome. I'm super pleased that you guys had me on, and this is a lot of fun. So yeah, thank you guys very much. Thank you.
And then for those films that you wanted to mention, where can we find those? Just so give a plug to yourself and
Brock Lattiff's YouTube page.
How do you spell Brock Lath?
It is BROCKLATUFF. So you can find him on. There's links to from his Instagram to his YouTube. But yeah, and then be on the lookout for worms.
Awesome.
Sure.
Well, thank you so much. Well, it was great seeing you. Well,
Yeah.
I hope to maybe have you on in the future again, but we'll see you later.
Yeah,
be in touch.
absolutely. Yeah, of course. Yeah, hopefully see you guys all in person soon. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you
stay in
guys.
touch. Stay in
Of
touch.
course.
Michael's the best. Michael's the best. Man.
We should have Michael back.
Yeah. It's a rarity to find someone who's good, a student who's like really good at what they do, and they're a great person. That's a rarity. And then you have Michael Parrington, who I feel like he's on every single set. So, listener, if you are in the Austin area, so is Michael. And if you have a project, a short, a feature, a TV, commercial, anything, Michael Parrington is your guy. Will not be disappointed. Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching. You got it. Well, you can say something.
Watching. They can't watch. What are you talking about?
Thanks so much for clicking and listening.
Thanks so much for
well,
listening.
okay, you guys all just say that.
Thanks so much for hearing us.
Can we say it all at once? Let's say it all at once. Are you ready? 3,
No, we're not doing this.
2,
What are you saying?
1.
86
We all said different things.
Bye!
Thank you for listening to the 86 That podcast. Make sure to stay up to date by following us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Instagram at 86 That podcast, where you can find episode highlights, exclusive bonus clips, and even the chance to ask questions to our future guests. We appreciate you tuning in and hope to see you in the next one.
This episode of 86 That is brought to you by Nanami Sushi Bar and Grill. If you're looking for the freshest sushi and authentic Japanese flavors just up the road in Austin, Nanami is the spot for you. From classic rolls to chef specials, it's perfect for a night out, date night, or just treating yourself. They're family owned, passionate about quality, and we're proud to have them supporting the show. So next time you're craving sushi, head to Nanami Sushi Bar and Grill. Check out their menu at nanamisushi.com and tell them that 86 That sent you. Once again, thank you to Nanami Sushi Bar and Grill for sponsoring this episode of our podcast.